Hey guys, you're watching India Today Tech, and in this video we're going to review the Nokia 3, Nokia's cheapest Android smartphone that comes at a price of Rs 9,499. Nokia launched 3 smartphones, the Nokia 5, the Nokia 6 and the Nokia 3. Nokia 3 is one of the cheapest smartphones but still built out of metal. Before starting the review, let me tell you 2 quick things about the phone. So the phone will be available only offline at offline retailers and mobile shops near your home. And secondly, the phone comes with Android. It's the latest Android version that Nokia is providing you with, the Android 7.1.1. So before we tell you how the phone's experience actually is with the software, let me tell you first about the design part of the phone. Nokia 3 comes with a full metal unibody design. That means its battery is sealed inside, but it has a polycarbonate back. It is very similar to the Lumia phones that Nokia launched before when it was with Microsoft, and the look and feel of the phone in the hand is very much similar. Its rounded edges and flat back gives you a very ergonomic hold. It has a 5.0-inch display which gives a very handy use experience. Now the metal frame is very different from what you get on budget smartphones in this segment. It's made out of very solid metal block, unlike the sheet metal smartphones that we have seen. Then the buttons are also very tactile and give a very good feedback when you press them. Going around the phone, there is a micro USB port at the bottom alongside a speaker and a microphone. Then at the top you get a 3.5mm jack and another microphone for noise cancellation. At the back there are the cameras with an LED flash. There's a single LED flash, of course, it's not dual LED. And then there are 2 trays on the left side that are ejected using a pin tool. Now peculiar thing about this is that you get 2 SIM card slots separately on one tray and a micro SD card slot separately on another tray. So there is expandable storage without sacrificing dual SIM cards. Overall, we have really liked the build quality of Nokia 3. It's not like every other budget smartphone in the market. It's slim, it's lightweight, and it's still built very strong. If I had to nitpick, there are 2 things that Nokia could have improved on the phone. Firstly, the capacitive keys below the display are not backlit. Secondly, when you're watching the YouTube videos in the landscape mode, the speaker gets muffled with the hand. That's kind of a difficulty to hear the audio of the video. Next, let's talk about the display. Nokia 3 comes with a 5-inch display that has 720 or high definition resolution that you get in most of the budget segment phones. The color reproduction is nice, but we really think that the brightness could have been better. Even when we were using the phone indoors, the brightness had to be put at full for normal use. So using the phone outdoors during daytime could be cumbersome, especially when the light is harsh. But then you can overlook that because Nokia 3 comes with the latest Android software, which is very hard to find in this price segment. The software on Nokia 3 is the Android 7.1.1 and is very amazingly optimized for its MediaTek chipset. We saw that the performance of the device for daily use is great. The app opening is very snappy and you can just glide through the interface and the apps without any hassle or without any lags. So it's unlike other companies. For example, Xiaomi, Oppo and Vivo have their own user interface running atop the Android. Xiaomi also runs its own MIUI on top of the Android. It's also not the latest version. So there are very few companies that run the stock Android interface, Motorola being one of them. But if you compare the Nokia 3 with the Moto C+, the Nokia 3 is far more responsive and much more fluid, despite the fact that both run a MediaTek chipset that are very similar. Nokia 3 runs the MediaTek chipset with 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of storage, which is expandable via micro SD card. So does that mean Nokia 3 runs without any hassle and could also compete higher end smartphones? Well, sort of. We pushed the phone to its limits and we found that there is actually a limit to which you can push the Nokia 3. For example, while using daily apps or while browsing on the internet, it will run fine. But when you open, for example, 20 to 30 tabs on your Chrome, then it would start to lag. Or for example, when you are using too many apps and there are almost 20 to 30 apps running in the background, then the phone will start to show the signs of stutter and the performance will start degrading. Till then the phone runs pretty smooth. But then again, on the plus side, Nokia is promising the update to Android O, which means that you will be getting the Android O update on your phone, which many big companies producing high-end phones also don't offer. As far as gaming is concerned, Nokia 3 is pretty okay for running games like Subway Surfer. But if you want to run high-end games like the Asphalt 8 or maybe Modern Combat 5, Nokia 3 won't be able to take that. Nokia 3 also has around 2650 mAh of battery and we got 1 day of use on full charge while using it extensively. Coming to the cameras, Nokia 3 has an 8 megapixel shooter at the rear and an 8 megapixel shooter at the front as well. So the pictures we have taken during the camera testing, we were surprised to see that Nokia 3 is able to capture pretty decent selfies and has a nice rear camera as well. Though the interface of the stock Android app is not very friendly to use, you'll see that one-hand controls are not there at all and the settings menu is slightly cluttered. But then you'll find that the autofocus of the rear camera is quite decent and the low light performance of the camera is also surprisingly good. The front camera is really something that you won't find in this segment. The 8 megapixel shooter on Nokia 3 is able to capture great photos even in low light. We haven't really come across that good a camera in this price segment. So should you buy the Nokia 3? Honestly, after a pretty long time, we have seen a smartphone that ticks all the usage requirements a user would have if he's buying a smartphone under 10,000 rupees. Now you can compare it with smartphones like the Redmi Note 4 that offers you better hardware, and there's also fingerprint sensor on the phone which the Nokia 3 misses out on. But then again, for daily use, you get a simple software to use and a promise of update that Nokia gives you. Obviously, if you're looking for a more powerful smartphone and would spend 1,000 or 2,000 rupees more to get that, you should buy the Redmi Note 4. But if your budget is strictly 9,000 rupees or around that, Nokia 3 is a very great option available right now.